Hello, I'm going to be reading How the Elephant Got Its Trunk, and has been adapted from the Rudyard Kipling stories and the Just So stories. There are lots of them, and they are brilliant. So, How the Elephant Got Its Trunk. In far-off times, the elephant had no trunk. It had a bulgy nose about as big as a boot, that it could wriggle from side to side, but it couldn't pick things up with it. There was one elephant, an elephant child, who was insatiably curious about the world and always asking questions. He asked the ostrich why her feathers grew so fluffy. He asked the giraffe why his neck was long. And he asked his parents why his nose was so bulgy, but nobody could answer his questions. One day he asked the cola bird, "What do crocodiles eat for dinner?" "Don't ask me. Go to the banks of the great green Limpopo River, and you'll find your answer." The next morning the elephant said goodbye to his family and set off for the Limpopo River. When he reached the river, he met a python curled up on a rock. Now, the elephant's child had never seen a crocodile and didn't know what one looked like. So he asked the python, "Excuse me, but have you seen a crocodile in these parts?" "Have I seen a crocodile?" sneered the snake. "What a question!" "Well, could you tell me what it eats for dinner?" asked the elephant. But the snake just shook her head and flicked her tail and curled up to bask in the sunshine. The elephant said goodbye and walked along the riverbank. Soon he trod on a big greenish-brown log. The log wriggled and wobbled and winked one eye, because it wasn't a log at all. It was a crocodile, but the elephant didn't know that. "Oh, I'm so sorry," said the elephant, quickly stepping off. "Do you know where I might find a crocodile in these parts?" The crocodile winked its other eye. "Come closer, little one," he said, swishing his long tail in the mud. "I'll stay where I am, thank you," said the elephant, unsure about the log creature's sharp teeth. "Well, I am a crocodile," said the log, shedding a crocodile tear to prove it. The little elephant was thrilled. "You're the very person I've been looking for. Please will you tell me what you eat for dinner?" "Come closer, little one," said the sly crocodile, "and I'll whisper it to you." So the elephant leant forward, and the crocodile quickly snapped its teeth, catching the elephant by the end of his big bulgy nose. Gripping the elephant's nose tightly between his jaws, the crocodile said, "Today, I think my dinner is going to be an elephant's child." The elephant squealed through his clamped down nose, let go, you're hurting me." His desperate cries alerted the lazy python, who uncurled herself and slithered to the riverbank. When she saw the elephant's predicament, she hissed, "Pull as hard as you can, little one, or he'll drag you into the river." So the elephant sat as far back as he could and pulled until his nose began to stretch. Meanwhile, the crocodile dug his claws deep into the mud and pulled with all his mighty strength. With each tug and pull, the elephant's nose grew longer. Oh, how it hurt! But the little elephant didn't give up. He hurled himself backwards and pulled as hard as he could until at last the crocodile lost his grip and was forced to swim away. The elephant's nose, which was now a long trunk, splashed so loudly into the water you could hear it all the way across the Limpopo River. But the cool water felt so soothing on his sore nose, the elephant decided to stay there. "What are you doing that for?" asked the python. "Perhaps my nose will shrink to its normal size again," said the elephant. "Some animals just don't know what's good for them," said the python. The elephant sat by the Limpopo River for 3 days, but his nose didn't get any shorter. It just got wrinklier. At the end of the 3rd day, A mosquito landed on his shoulder and stung him. Before he knew what he was doing, the elephant lifted his trunk and swatted the mosquito. Advantage number 1, cried the python, who had been watching the elephant. You couldn't have done that with your small, bulgy nose. Now, try to eat something. Without thinking, the elephant used his trunk to pluck a bundle of fresh green grass and pop it in his mouth. Advantage number 2, cried the python. You couldn't have done that with your small, bulgy nose. Now, don't you think it's too hot here? It is, agreed the elephant, and he slooped up some mud with his trunk and slapped it on his head to make a cooling mud cap. Advantage number 3, cried the python. You couldn't have done that with your small, bulgy nose. So what will you do if you meet a crocodile? I'll spank him with my new trunk, said the elephant. Thank you for your help. I think it's time I went home. So the elephant plodded all the way across Africa, waving his new trunk at every animal he met. When he was hungry, he used his trunk to pull fruit from the trees. When flies landed on him, he used his trunk to swat them away. When he felt hot, he used his trunk to make a cooling mud cap. And when he felt lonely, he used his trunk to sing to himself. At last he reached his family and they cried, "Little elephant, what's happened to your nose?" "I got it from the crocodile on the banks of the Limpopo River," he said proudly, and he showed them the amazing things he could do with it. The elephant herd was so impressed that one by one they set off for the great green Limpopo River so they, too, could get new noses. And that is how the elephant got its trunk. All thanks to the elephant child's courage and insatiable curiosity. Right. Thank you very much. Bye.